Yo, hey, sorry for the wait, but we here. We are in for a show tonight. So y'all, make sure you share. Make sure you tell everybody to come on in, y'all. We got a crazy show tonight, y'all. We got some dope judges. We got some dope poets. Y'all, it's crazy. Tonight is Triggers and Treatment, y'all. We have teamed up with the best Indigo and Lilac. She's in the building. But y'all, before we do anything, we got a dope intro. While this spin, make sure you share it. Get somebody in the building. We'll be right back. Let's go. J.O. speak.
Derek Wallace. What up, J.O.? Kimberly Stewart. Yeah. Big Uno. Okay, it's time to ease your mind. No wasted time, I come in peace. Every poem is one of a kind, so every line is R&B. I swear for God, it's time to eat. This is just a place to be. If you riding with the team, then say it loud. I pray your penmanship be photosynthesis to witnesses and they attentiveness be memorable mentally and show more physically. The creativity with words you see it vividly. The way we orchestrate the place, you think it was a symphony. So bring your skills if you really real. If this your spot demanded, are you the one to make the cut and be the last one standing? Then rep where you from. Let your heart and talent speak. If you grind and reach the peak, then you a real GOAT. J.O. speak, 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 J.O. speaks.
Yo, we lit. We live, y'all. Tonight is Triggers and Treatment, y'all. It's going to be a dope show, y'all. It is going to be phenomenal. If you didn't catch last week's show about hands and feet, y'all missed it. But wait, you know what? I got a little something for you, y'all. I got a little snippet of a recap, especially for the new judges we got on the panel. We're going to meet them later. But y'all, check out this little clip from last week, y'all. Let's go.
Place peace in their palms, place roses at their feet, as if they walk on water, as if they conjure up blessings. Give the children praise and peep how they bloom. Give the children room and see what they do. See how they recreate the sun and shining back on you.
Found us in our power, lift up others to discover we belong here. For years, ancestors, hands held, weak feet traveling home through guidance, God's goal known. Hands, feet.
Word of promise on the hope that their hands can hold the same sense of knowing that they might go through things, but we know that we will flow through them in the same peace of thinking that we can speak life into them to the point that life will continue even with the silence.
Deserve to use their hands and feet to ice skate. Introduce them to fresh produce. Put their hands and feet to great use. Through God and show them that it's more than just soda, but show them the healthy juice. Let the youth live and use their hands and feet to play duck, duck, goose. The youth deserve to be free. The youth deserve to use their hands to play Tweely Lee. The youth deserve to use their hands to hula hoop. Through guidance, teach the...
Through guidance, we talk and tell our stories. Not with tongues, not with words, but through the language of love, the vibration, the heartbeat, echoing through our hands and feet, the pulse of passion, surging, overflowing, motivating. Grandma taught me that actions speak louder than words, so I invite you to join me in conversation.
I've always wanted to ice skate at the Galleria, but Mama had three of us to consider, and shuffling up change for only one of us to have that experience just wouldn't be fair. So when we were on the second floor, I gripped the rail with joy and gazed down upon the children with their parents and their friends, and they're slipping and falling and laughing and hugging and catching each other and then slipping again. And it was just so delightful to watch.
What's up?
So y'all, tonight is Triggers and Treatment. And as y'all know, it takes a village to raise a poet. So y'all, this is my village, and y'all about to meet the poets. Tonight we got 5 poets, but only 4 can go into the final round, y'all. So 1 will be cut tonight. So we got work to do. Last week we teamed up with Through Guidance. This week we teamed up with Indigo and Lilac. We talking about Triggers and Treatment. But y'all, over in box 1, y'all give it up for my man, Big Uno. What you looking for tonight, man?
Hey, how y'all doing? Week 3, so I'm looking for a little bit of versatility. I don't want to hear the same of the same. We gave you 1 and 2 weeks to get it together. We're picking the finals. We picking the finalists tonight, so please bring your A game.
Let's go. And in box 2, y'all, she will be a judge for Series 9, so y'all get a little sneak peek. But she is also subbing in for Kimberly Stewart tonight. Y'all give it up for the lovely Traje Empowers.
Hey y'all, what's going on? I am excited to be here, but really what I'm looking for is some layered metaphors and some real good imagery tonight. Just that wordplay and that cadence for sure.
And y'all listen, we got some heat down here on the Poets Row. So listen, y'all heard him last week. He killed it. Chev, man, like he lit the stage. I done played it back at least 5 times, y'all. Young Chev, what you looking for tonight?
One knee's right here. One knee right here. I want somebody pen. I want somebody pen today.
Okay, looking for that pen. And listen, I don't know if y'all know in the middle box, but Prentice couldn't be here tonight. But y'all, the man in the middle is a beast. He's fire, literally. My man Black Chakra, it's probably not a slam. He hasn't won. So y'all, he's also a judge in Series 9. So y'all getting a double sneak peek as to what Series 9 about to look like. And I think Series 9 in the building. So y'all pay close attention. Black Chakra, what you looking for tonight, man?
I am the worst person you could ever ask to be a judge because I judge on a criteria of 1, could I have thought about this? 2, could I have done it better? 3, did I think about this and did I do it better? So I'm looking for an amount of talent that is egregious. So hopefully everybody's writing and performance is up to par.
Hey, that's where we at, y'all. And the lovely Cassandra is free, y'all. Last but definitely not least, y'all, she will be calibrating for us tonight, just so y'all can see how these y'all heard what the judges are looking for. She gonna calibrate, and you gonna really see what the judges at tonight. So y'all give it up for our calibrating poet tonight. Cassandra is free. Let's go.
For the people who speculate and tell me I don't look like what I'm going through, I guess I'm supposed to say thank you. But pain sometimes makes it hard to speak. See, it's the chronic pain for me. Nights where I can't sleep, can't breathe, can't eat, because food always triggers it. Triggers more than people who tell me I don't look sick and so I must be okay. But they just don't see what it's doing to me because pain isn't always tangible. You can't hold it the way it holds you. And it's not loosening its grip up. So there are days where I don't even want to get up. Just want to wrap myself in a blanket, tell people what to do with their blanket statement when they state that I should be happy. It's not worse. And there are some times when the only thing worse than the pain would be not feeling anything. Times where it's so crippling that the thought of my life ending don't actually sound all that bad. It's the waking up in agony, headaches and body aches that linger like an unwanted house guest in my body. My body, once my temple, is now crucifying me daily until I become a living sacrifice, feeling forsaken. So when people tell me I don't look like what I'm going through, I cringe. Because they act like you can't be both beautiful and broken. See, it's the chronic pain for me. Tired of explaining that imaginary and invisible are not the same thing. Tired of explaining that there are good days and there are bad days. Days where I can run a marathon and days where I can't even run to my couch. And I am not okay most days because even on the days where it doesn't hurt, my anxiety stays up to remind me that the pain is going to return. And so I wait for it, staring out the window like Celie, looking for Mister because that pain is like a slap in the face. So I'm waiting for signs that it's about to hit. And the effects aren't clear to the naked eye. So outside looking in, I'm healthy. But if you could see how this pain turns me inside out, you wouldn't mistake my cries for lies. Say I'm lazy on days I need to just rest, like you stood in bed. Yes, because there are some times where it takes an extra hour, day, week to get me started. Don't get me started when I tell you the struggle is real. It's because it's a real struggle at times to exist, to live with this, a chronic illness, no cure, just ways to manage it while trying to manage the damage it brings. But how do you manage when the only thing that helps chronic is chronic? Because my job is zero tolerance, and if I lose it, I wouldn't have the bread and butter for the butter anyway. So please don't tell me I don't look like what I'm going through. It feels more insinuation than compliment, more accuser than optimist. I wish I was optimist so I could transform people's way of thinking and treating people with an invisible illness. Say it's supposed to make us stronger because it ain't kill us. Now what it does is weaken the spirit. And now this ain't no pity party, no woe is me. I just wish some things were different. Like people not letting how someone looks decide if they believe their condition. So for the people who speculate and tell me I don't look like what I'm going through, thank you.
Wow. Y'all, listen, this is how we kicking it off tonight. We in there, y'all. We in now. So tonight, y'all, we gonna hear from the judges. And y'all can see where they at. First up, Big Uno. It's on you.
Cassandra is free. Miss Cassandra. I was looking forward to hearing your piece. I want to say thank you for your piece. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Your pen was nice. Your metaphors was nice. Your poems, you were engaging. You kept me engaged the whole entire piece, like I always do for the Calibration Poets. Thank you for being here and thank you for sharing. 10.
There we go, 10. All right, Trejay, it's on you.
All right, Miss Cassandra. I really appreciate the concept of the piece more than anything. I think as a Black woman, the whole we don't look like what we going through is basically the internal existence of a Black woman. So I appreciated the concept of that, and then some of the metaphors really hit hard. I would say if I had to give it a score, I'm gonna go with an 8.8 on that one.
Okay, 8.8. Let's go, Shell.
That is actually so ironic. I was also going to go with an 8.8, like on the exact dot. Like I just wrote it down before. I'd say I enjoyed the buildup of intensity. I thought the concept was well explored. As far as the metaphors, there were really strong hits, and other ones I was like, cool. But especially towards the end, it built up to being a solid all-around poem. 8.8.
That's what up. 8.8. All right, Black Chakra, it's on you.
Interesting where we all were mentally.
Let's go.
I wrote that down halfway through the piece. The poem, you do a great job performing it. You do a great job conveying the emotions in the piece. There was vulnerability, but there wasn't clarity. I was like, I would like to see the specificity of why you're going through these things instead of just hearing about it. It really picks up near the end of the poem. There's a lot of, in those last 45 seconds, there are a lot of very, very incredible metaphors and punchlines and wordplay that I was enjoying very much. You need about 6 more of those throughout the piece.
All right. So 8.7 for Black Chakra. All right. Last but not least, Cassandra, you can't judge yourself, but hey, listen. That lets you give yourself a 10. Got you. Poets, y'all see what the judges are tonight. Y'all see it. Hey, this is the semifinals. Hey, so y'all know what time it is. It's time to mix words and emotions with confidence and emphasis. You see, it's the hottest show with a poetic flow from the one that brought you right and chill. Often imitated, but no one ever duplicates the feels. Every Tuesday night at 10 Central, our words weigh heavy on your mental. You see, we interrupt your normal program to bring you J.O. Speaks Poetry Slam, y'all. Let's go. Y'all, first up, y'all seen it last week. She been vibrating the stage like none other. Her words just ring true. We've heard that sounds like our ancestors, that it just gives a vibration to our heart, y'all. Put your hands together for the one we know and love, for Jay Poetry. Let's go.
There's a war going on, and we have to be ready. There's a war going on in the mind. There's a war going on, and we have to be ready. Going to therapy is not a crime. We say we are okay when someone asks, but truth be told, we hide behind the mask. The problem gets bigger when we don't recognize the triggers. The healing tools have been sent, so allow therapy and God's love to be your treatment. Help somebody can breathe. Pain has you numb so you can't grieve. Help somebody can't breathe. You've been church hurt so many times you no longer believe. Have you ever been around your coworkers or your family and you felt all alone, even though you had a lot of people around you? Have you? Have you? Because I have. So much pressure on your chest. So much pressure, you're living in stress. So much pressure, you're living in distress. Feeling fatherless and motherless. Your pain is suffocating you, so you're losing consciousness. Abandonment issues. It hurts every time somebody diss you. You're angry, so you're so quick to snap. You're so angry, you feel trapped. Lashing out, screaming on the inside, but no words are coming out. They told you should be over that. So you learn how to silence your mouth. So much hurt was deposited in you. Now you have a negative overdraft account. Emotionally drained, mentally drained. Your suffocating is affecting the peace in your brain. But we don't know how to heal because we wasn't properly trained. You're suffocating and God wants to snatch you up out of there. You're suffocating and God wants you to breathe fresh air. Breathe, sir. Breathe, ma'am. They're calling you a whore because men are coming in and out of your door, but they don't know about that molestation that took place on that bathroom floor. Nobody believed you, so you didn't want to talk anymore. You want out, but you don't know how to restore. Tears in your eyes, you've been traumatized. Tried to commit suicide, you was hospitalized. The pain that you are going through is not your fault, but you're being criticized. For years, you've been allowing the devil to feed you lies. Now your pain is overweight. You're suffocated and don't know how to escape. Your character they destroyed. I'm sorry your pain was ignored. You're suffocating but trying to fill a void. You were sabotaged while your pain was piling up like boxes in a garage. Hurtful womb is large. Breathe. It's time for a recharge. You're suffocating but God wants to snatch you up out of there. You're suffocating but God wants you to breathe fresh air. Breathe. They didn't handle you with care. Folks shared your pain so you no longer wanted to share. There was no compassion, but you would wear your pain and hurt like it was fashion. Tears fall, but you still felt the same hurt after the altar call. All your life you've been around drama. Trust issues with your mama. Wonder why nobody rescued you from trauma. Rejection, so another hurt added to your collection. You was just a child and they blamed you. You was just a child and they shamed you. Daddy left after he named you. It hurts to know daddy never claimed you. Pain cuts so deep you're suffocating in your sleep. Molestation opened that door for fornication. Everybody saying fight temptations. We need healing classes because we want to make it to graduation. Lied on, but let God restore your reputation. When it comes to pain, there's no discrimination. Sir, it's okay to cry. Sir, you should live and not die. You are loved, so breathe and get your breakthrough. Cheated on, treated wrong, beat on, anxiety every time you hear a male aggressive tone. Depression has you pushing people away. Excuse me, ma'am, it's okay not to be okay. You're suffocating, but God wants to snatch you up out of there. You're suffocating, but God wants you to breathe fresh air. Breathe. You've been suffocating in your addictions. You've been suffocating in your affliction. When it comes to family, you never get your equal portion. You're still dealing with that shame of abortion. Misunderstood, but it don't feel too good. Physical abuse situations got you going in circles like duck goose. They called you loose like a loose tooth. They want to tell your story before you tell your truth. Addicted to slot machines at the casino. You went through years of chemo. You were a serial booster years ago. Pimps looking for you like Finding Nemo. God can change you no matter how low you go. Didn't God spare Rahab? She was a prostitute in the city of Jericho. Having flashbacks. Did some things for money. Now you want to get that cash back. Breathe. Put those pills down. Don't overdose. Things are getting better. You are so close. Breathe. Put that gun down. Somebody loves you. You have to stick around. Breathe. Please don't jump. There will be bumps in this life, but don't give up. You can make it over that hump. Breathe. Right. Fight. Come out of darkness and get in the light. Get back up and take control. Self-care for your mind, body, and soul. Relaxation, meditation for your frustration. Stability, positivity, and creativity. Relax and express your feelings. Yes, it's time for healing. You're suffocating, but God wants to snatch you up out of there. You're suffocating, but God wants you to breathe fresh air. Breathe. Me, he, she, you. We have to breathe. Thank you.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Breathe. Oh, man. Breathe. All right, Uno. It's on you.
J Poetry. Let me make sure. I was making sure my mic wasn't muted. Thank you for your piece. Thank you for your share with us. Thank you for presenting that. I was interested to see what you were going to do week 3. I was looking for a change of pace. So in my head, you already know what rhythm and cadence I had in my head from you. I let my ink leak. It was a nice change of pace. I appreciate you giving me something different. Yeah, your cadence and your delivery was the same, but it was a different piece. I didn't feel I let my ink leak, and I appreciate that. So now with this piece, your pen was nice. It was simple for me. The only thing I wish you could have landed it a little bit earlier. It was a little long-winded for me. So with that being said, I give you an 8.9, love. I hope I see you next week.
All right, 8.9. Trejay, it's on you.
Hello, sis. As a fellow believer and mental health therapist, I appreciate the juxtaposition between the church and mental health. Just that concept and that dynamic is always really interesting to explore. So I appreciate that, the approach you kind of came with. But I thought your rhyme scheme was a little predictable. So there was parts where I was like guessing what words you were going to say next based off of what you were saying before. And so I felt like there were times where you might have been able to expand where you were going with it, but you limited yourself because you wanted to make sure you landed that rhyme or that cadence. And so I encourage you to explore that a little more. And then you just started ripping off Band-Aids. You just started like, I'm just going to tell everybody's business. Like, oh, okay, she's just telling everybody's business up in here. Everybody. She's like, I was waiting on you to be like, come out. But really, in terms of score-wise, I'm going to go ahead and go with an 8.6.
All right, 8.6. Sounds good. All right, we on that poets roll. Chef, kicking it off.
We dropping the highest and the lowest, right?
We are.
All right, I think my score should be dropped. I got a phone call that took me out of the stream for a few seconds, so I don't think it's fair that I score a poem if I missed a piece of it.
Okay. So
but from what I heard, like similar thoughts as everyone else. The rhyme scheme did get predictable. I've always enjoyed how you built momentum, and yeah, just a very enjoyable poem to listen to.
All right. Sounds fair.
On the next person.
All right.
Apologize. We're going to keep it do not disturb from here on in.
Sounds good. All right. Pulling on over. Black Chakra. On you. 7.5.
The poem and the message is very powerful. I can never give a non-memorized poem higher than a 7 point anything, especially in a competition, because if we won it, we won it. And that eye contact was a necessity for the message that you were saying in the poem. I also felt like the rhyme scheme was predictable. In the poem, little lengthy. Not that I have a problem with long poems, but if it's going to be that long, there has to be a type of acrobatic that you do lyrically to change it up, like with double entendres or metaphors or simile, or even an emotional place. In performance, it's about peaks and valleys. Like our voice and our tonation has to change via the situation. Like when you're talking about something like molestation, there's a more of a hurt that should be in people's voices. When we're talking about the pain of something, there's more of a grit. And I feel like the poem was performed on mostly one note. That's why I give it a 7.5.
All right, 7.5. All right, Cassandra is free.
All right, what's up, J Poetry? I agree with a lot of what was already stated, so I'm not going to repeat it. Other than my main note was that once it started to get long, I wrote that it was getting kind of long. Now I have enjoyed you the last couple of weeks, but I also know that last week I said to kind of watch that your delivery not sound the same every time, especially in a series like this where the same people are judging you, every week. That it sounds the same, like the flow sounds the exact same every time to me. So I would definitely want to not deliver, 3 poems the same way. The wordplay still was good. It was lengthy. That was my main note. I actually had the same score of a 7.5. Thank you.
7.5. Let's go. Listen, y'all, this is the semifinal. These judges not playing, y'all. And don't get it twisted. For those in the comments, these are constructive comments. These are poets giving their critiques on an ability to take these works that they have. They've only had a week to write this. To me, it is kudos to come before a competition with new poems. But this is what the competition is asking for. But this critique lets them take notes and know what they need to do with the poems they have now. So the next time we hear these pieces, y'all, they about to blow us out the water. But y'all, we got a show we still got a show in store for y'all. Let's keep it going. Y'all remember her last week. For the first 2 weeks, she been coming off the dome, y'all. This week, I think she decided to switch it up a little bit on y'all. I think she pulled out the pen shell. I think she pulled out the pad, y'all. She was fire as a freestyle poet. So I'm just like, whoa, let's see what really pop off tonight. Y'all give it up for my sis, Word Mortician. Let's go.
One, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. I don't know about the God you believe in, but the Lord I serve is never to be questioned. You accept it when life seems hectic. You are simply being tested. Obstacles will only appear mountainous when you stand before them. They become minuscule molehills when you overcome them. Patience is a virtue you must seek daily. In addition, it is your mission to attain it. For those who didn't catch that, I'll explain it. Counted steps preceded by hesitation will lead to mental constipation, forcing a realization of disappointment as expectations aren't met. You'll grow so impatient with yourself. Put yourself on shelf and think dust will only collect if nobody sneezes. Nobody seems to realize tears have been streaming. It seems as though only lilac scents and indigo dreams will allow you to find the comfort in the seams of your jeans, but sometimes it's in the beautiful articulation of what we bring to the page. Literally, taking a pen to the pad and allowing our emotions to be laid to rest. I've done my best, putting my chest out on display, allowing my arms to stay open to receive and give love. So in this moment, I can give you something you can hug like a breath of fresh air. The ability to know that though you have experienced certain triggers and the traumatizations of your own experiences, there is treatment, there is healing within reach. To those affected by the effects of it, my heart goes out to you. To those ignorant, to the pain it causes, the inside parts of hearts of those left behind. Let me tell you, not a day goes by we don't cry. And just because you don't notice the tears or the dry traces down our faces doesn't mean we're not crying. Sometimes our tear ducts are drying. We are so tired of complying, lying dormant like the floor mats you walk over so quickly to always think that our shoulders were just meant to hold your head, allowing you to confess that the treatment is necessary at the point in which you no longer have the capacity to bear the pain. No longer are you forced to take it. No longer should you be expected to just make it, fake it till you do, until the point of the whole Tao would just break, because these levees have been shaken to the pit of stir, because we know what it means when the ditches get dug and we don't realize how much it tugs on our heartstrings, knowing that if we don't tend to ourselves, if we don't take our deep breaths, if we are not filling our cup first, we cannot quench another's thirst. So if you allow yourself to seek true, compassionate hearts who only mean to bring you healing, things that you were dealing with become a lot easier to deal with in the hands of those who know that just a deep breath and a gentle tone can get you to a place you call home, being so comfortable by the comforting of knowing that you are not alone.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Take a deep breath in, breathe out. Uno, it's on you, my boy. Let's go.
Hey, Repetition, I appreciate your piece. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Again, your pen is nice, and you said you was gonna write this one down, and it sounded the same as when you were freestyling to me. So kudos to you. That's a compliment. If you can write the same way you freestyle, that's dope. You stayed on topic. Um, you even mentioned the company, the triggers and treatments. To me, toward the end, it started to become like more of a ramble to me. So it didn't have a solid landing for me. So with that being said, I can give you an 8.5, love. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, 8.5. All right, Jay.
Hello, hello. So first and foremost, I really like the opening. Just the count. You drink the water. I was like, is she ready? But then you did the count and the breath, and it kind of like, okay, I was intrigued by what you were gonna say next. So I appreciate that added little piece of it. I liked your timing. I think you did good with there's a gift and a skill to pausing, and I think you're still mastering that. But instead of just like running through, because as freestylers, I mean, Black Chakra can talk about it though. Like when you freestyle, sometimes you're so busy trying to keep that beat that you don't use the pause, and I think you used your pause as well. But I would agree with Uno and just that landing. Like at a certain point, you kind of lost me. I was like, okay, is she gonna land the poem strong? So, but I really did like the collect the dust and the sneeze line. That was dope. That was a dope line that stuck with me. But with all that being said, I'm gonna go with an 8.4, sis.
Thank you.
All right, 8.4. All right, y'all, we hitting that poets roll. Young Shell kicking it off.
Steady, controlled, but wordy at times. There were a few times, like throughout the poem, at which I directly felt this would have impacted me more if you had said less.
Okay.
And not to say, like, just leave the audience hanging and left to their own devices, but the point of the line could have been made 3 or 4 words before you stopped. And I think the point of the poem was made about a stanza or two before you stopped. And editing is as important a skill as writing, like what to take out as well as what to add. But I thought the pace was very necessary. It was done how it was supposed to be done. I'll give it an 8.3. I enjoyed that.
All right, 8.3. Black Chakra. All right, 5.9.
I found the poem to be very repetitive and do nothing to excite the listener. When you're writing a poem, especially a spoken word piece, remember that audibly it has to be not just pleasing, because I don't think your voice does not sound pleasing or the tone wasn't pleasing, but it also has to do something to excite the listener. And there was nothing in the writing that made my ears perk once. And because I feel like those last 6 stanzas were just the same 6 stanzas rewritten in different forms, I began to not enjoy the poem. Make your point, and then make another point or dive deeper. Don't repeat.
Okay.
All right. Got you. Cassandra's free.
Hey, good evening, Wordmatician. I know last week I asked you to write, just to try to kind of challenge yourself to write to the prompt, and you did. I was kind of back and forth listening to it because it was like you were on track, and then you just started saying stuff, and then you kind of got back to a point, and then you started saying stuff again, and that's how it came off. But anytime somebody says something and it makes me write it down, I did like a line. It says something like, "If you can't fill up your cup first, you can't quench another's thirst," or something like that. And that line did stand out to me. So that was a really good bar to have in the poem. But I was still back and forth. While there were some points of the poem where I really wasn't following. Everything that you were saying. I know that you're an incredible writer, so I'm not taking that away from you. My final score was a 7.8.
Thank you.
All right, 7.8. All right, Word Mortician. Awesome job, sis. I appreciate your words. Listen, they definitely brought forth healing for someone. I love them. Y'all give it up for my sis, Word Mortician. We're going to put you backstage. Listen, y'all, this is a poetry slam, and I like to make sure all my judges sit right. So I got a little cash out. So if y'all feeling free, got $1 or $2. I know it's, the holiday time. Don't be shy. Throw a little bit our way. We definitely doing this for the community to build poets. I know some of y'all in the comments like, yo, the judge is getting hard, but y'all understand this is an art. And the only way your art will get better if you refine it, if you critique it. Sometimes our friends be like, yo, that was dope. And we get out with it and they be like, and this is what people really feel. We need to know it. And so I feel like this is a safe space to do that. And it's not just the criticism, but to me, it is the critiques that you build upon. So y'all, if this is touching home in any way, y'all, make sure you reach out to someone. If there's no one to reach out, y'all, the Suicide and Crisis Hotline is always open. You can call or text 988. I know tonight we may hear some pieces that may be triggering, that may bring you back to some things. And I don't want you to just hold those thoughts within you. Tonight is a little weighty. We're talking about triggers and treatment. So if anything gets heavy, y'all make sure y'all hit that 988. But the Cash App is on the bottom if y'all want to help me pay a few bills. But y'all, we're about to keep it going. This next cat, man, I'm excited. He has showed some versatility throughout this competition. He came with the battle rap week 1. He came with the storytelling week 2. Like his presence just demands it. Yo, I don't know what Veritas mean, but it seemed like it got like a versatile vibe with it. You feel me? But y'all put your hands together for my man.
It means secret in Latin.
How do you explain sight as a man unseen? Like, how do you explain life with the heart not beating? How am I to write a treatise on treatment when I'm constantly defeated by these demons deeming me as unworthy of redeeming? I sat back all week trying to let my ink speak, trying to unbox if peace can be found in a box of lilacs and indigo, but only silence reverberated on the corridors of my mind. Emptiness swelled in this abyss. Echoes off these walls of void. This broken vessel has very little to pour out onto this page. I'm a poet that uses this pen to narrate stories, to take you on journeys, to harness my years of trauma into bite-sized appetizers for audience to consume and spit out, for these judges to tell me whether or not they feel what I say. What the hell with it? I'm trying to say what I feel. I'm trying to box out this writer's block and write myself out of this well of despair, trying to piece together this piece about peace, healing, treatment, overcoming. But right now that cup is empty. So maybe this page will fill itself. Maybe these wounds will heal themselves in time to have executed something excellent that will get snaps and applause. Maybe sorry for that, y'all. Maybe these landmines I am surrounded by won't explode the next time I take a step on one of these triggers. And yeah, I'm triggered. I'm constantly triggered, and I'm constantly trying not to pull this trigger. So just maybe if I sit back long enough and meditate on this empty page, my pen can pour out some of this rage, open this cage and let this writer out, to pull this fighter out before I put this fire out. because this pain is a poison that pushes me to the pinnacle. But maybe if I pen it through supercilious syllables and pretentious scribbles, I will break free from these margins and find freedom between these lines until these pages are filled with what I feel. And I can communicate something real. And maybe in that process, as I reveal my weaknesses, I can climb this Achilles heel to resemble something close to being healed and choose the pen over the trigger. Executing these poems may help me exercise these demons, maybe. Writing outside the box will help me to stay out of one.
Yo Veritas, y'all. Listen, I was on mute, but hey, I think my man said it all right there, y'all. Let's get it going. Hey, Big Uno, it's on you, my boy.
Veritas, I appreciate your piece. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. From week one till now, you have made the biggest transition. You showed the most versatility. You gave me the different deliveries on each week. On each week, you something different. Came with the battle rap delivery, right? Then you was like, okay, I took what the judges said, and then you came with, you kind of flipped it to the poetry side. But tonight, man, you were fully engaged. I don't know if you did it on purpose, but even the wardrobe, the never give up, the hat, the way you delivered, the scratchiness of your voice, the way you gave me the passion in the piece, man, you sold me. Even with the blackout, the blackout felt like it was a part. It felt like it was a part of it. Like, oh, but it wasn't pulled a curtain on me. That's what I felt like. Then he came back out, but I enjoyed myself. So with that being said, bro, I give you a 9. I appreciate it.
Let's go, 9. All right, Jay, it's on you.
Hello, sir. I liked how you wove in the company's name in there. The one line, I think I even saw Uno's face light up. You said, "Feel what I say," but I'm trying to say what I feel, and I feel that as a poet. I really appreciated some of your wordplay. I like the whole like the trigger and the trigger with the gun piece, especially when we're talking about like suicide and things like that. But as a man talking about being vulnerable, I wanted you to be more vulnerable. Like you were talking about this thing that was so weighty, and I was like, well, what's the thing? Like, tell us what it is. So I would have liked to see you go a little bit more deeper into whatever was triggering you. That's what I felt like was really missing from the piece. But delivery wise, I enjoyed it, and I really liked the ending. I think you had a solid line that just like ended the poem well. So with all that being said, I give you 8.9, sir.
All right, 8.9, solid. Y'all, we on that poets roll. Here we go. Shell, it's on you.
I don't ask poets to be vulnerable for me as a judge because I know I'm not equipped to help you heal from things. Like actual wounds, I am not qualified, nor will we have the time together for me to help you with things. So I don't ask the poets to be vulnerable. But I don't like it when they pump fake vulnerability to me. And during this poem, I felt like I was being lied to about vulnerability. I find the poem about how poetry, particularly when it's being judged, and how, critiquing that whole thing, there are a million of them. There are genuinely a million of them, and this was not one of my favorites. I felt like I heard the same bar 4 times in just different ways, where we are saying, maybe if I write this, it'll keep me out of this, or like 4 of them the same way. And I do have positives about the poem. I enjoyed the passion of it. I enjoyed the way it was delivered. You powered through like the literal blackout of the poem, and a lot of people lose confidence in those moments. I would say what I would ask you to do as a poet is to consume a ton of poetry, like a ton of it, and just find out how many things have been done already. So either seek to elevate them by adding something to the conversation or go in a different direction, and then write things that are specifically you. And I know you feel all of this, but tell us the things that make you feel all of this so we'll actually feel it for ourselves instead of telling us to. And you'll never hear anyone say, oh, I've heard this poem from someone else before again. And it's a critique that whooped my ass for the better part, whooped my butt for the better part of 4 to 5 years. I'm going to go 8.0.
All right. Solid 8. All right. Black Chakra. Okay. Solid 8.
I know you're a better writer. I know you're a better writer. And I know it's a poetry competition. Don't do an impression of what you think poetry is. Break it. Do what you do, and then call it spoken word poetry. Some of my critiques have been echoed by everybody else about the vulnerability. No. Some of my favorite parts of the poem with the wordplay, I was very impressed at certain parts. The ending is incredible. I'm very big on how a poem lands, and the way that you landed that poem was very good. This was a 7.5 before the ending. And once you hit with that ending, I was like, oh, okay, that's actually very high quality writing right there, which makes me know that you could go better. Go better. Give them all the wordplay, give them all the double entendre, give them all the craziness, while being vulnerable. That's the skill of what we do. It's about how can I be vulnerable and make people feel something while being as lyrically as impressive as possible. And I feel like you're way more lyrically impressive than that. But I still gave you an 8, which is the highest score I've given to one of the competitors tonight, because I think you're a better performer. And I think your poem had a direction that I actually appreciated. So
that's what's up. A solid 8. Let's go. All right. Cassandra is free.
Hey, good evening. I like the line. It was like towards the end. It says something about I'm picking the pin over the trigger. That part, that was a line that stood out to me throughout, out of everything in your whole piece. I feel like you had a more, I hope this makes sense, a more natural vibe in your week one when you kind of came off and you had the energy of battle rap in your delivery. And then the critique that you got was saying, you know, we'd love to see you write more, deliver more as a poet or something like that. And I think that changed how you deliver naturally. Don't let somebody change how you deliver, how your natural delivery. Your delivery is your delivery, because now it sounds like you're trying, and I hate repeating what other people say, but it sounds like you're trying to sound like a type of performer that you're not. You have to be yourself when you perform, because it is obvious and it does come off, because you are a really good writer. I've been telling you that every week. You're a very good writer, and you're going to continue to be a very good writer. And my score is an 8.2.
All right, 8.2. All right, Veritas, y'all. Man, y'all give it up for my man Veritas. He just showed versatility. What I said before the mute, I was like, I don't know what Veritas mean, but some kind of way I feel like it may mean like versatility or something else. I don't know. My man did his thing. Y'all
it's Latin. It means secret.
It's secret. Okay, there we go. Let's go. Veritas. Awesome job, my man. I'm gonna put you backstage. There we go. So y'all, next up, y'all, we had a contestant. I'm trying to see where she's at. I'm gonna give her a few seconds. While we do, y'all, make sure y'all share this live. What we're doing this for tonight is for a client, Indigo and Lilac. She does boxes to help you heal, to help you meditate, and it's personalized. It's not just a general box she puts together and gives out to everybody. We have teamed up with her because she helps you go through your triggers and she walks you through your treatment. It's not just the boxes, but it's everything that circles around it. So hopefully if you get time, definitely spin back and check her out. All her information will be listed on this live once it's uploaded on the on YouTube. But again, make sure you donate. Make sure you give $1 or $2, whatever you can. Hey, we'll definitely shout you out, and we definitely appreciate everything. Make sure you subscribe. But y'all, listen, we got to keep the show moving. And I'm going to have Lenore Elaine, if you could, go ahead and hop in the queue. Blue, please hop into queue. We got to keep it going. All right, y'all. The young lady, Blue, I don't know if she's going to make it tonight. She herself was in a slam, and she said she may have made it to round 2. So she was trying to do a double whammy tonight, but I guess she got caught up in the real world, or we in the virtual. But y'all, this is the last poet of tonight. We coming to the end, y'all. It's been a small but impactful show, y'all. I've enjoyed myself, y'all. I hate to see it end, but y'all put your hands together. Y'all remember her from week 1 when A Woman Speaks? She came with like that dope 1-minute poem, and everybody wanted more, like her words, her voice. Man, it just do something to you, y'all. Man, listen, y'all go here for yourself. Put your hands together for my girl, Lenora Elaine. Let's go.
I know short breaths. I know holding hands with shame. I know worry. I know not enough. I know getting up and wishing I could lay down. I know it like my mother's face. I know it like my father's crooning grimaces, like the grit stuck between my sister's teeth and fingertips, like the cousin's dark lips and cannabis-scented soundtracks, like the bend in my grandmother's back, like the grief in my students' eyes, like the church lady's prayer request after she testifies, like wondering if God is really there, but knowing there's something giving me the audacity to let my heart beat one more time. I know trying to find the grace in the grind. We made of sea and sky, so I know we get blue too. I know wanting to cry, but feeling too cruel to. I know wanting a drink, but needing empathy. I know a series of misfortunes can start feeling like it's meant to be, but I recall the second law as above, so below, so I am what I see. Flip my perspective while sipping chamomile tea. I sit under a tree and let it speak, decide myself free, let my limbs stretch to a djembe beat. Alhamdulillah, I am made of sun, so that gotta mean something. I'm a random conjunction of evenings and atoms at divine timing. So laugh or cry, I'ma keep climbing. Grip whatever glory nestles itself in the crevices of my being. Operate as if I am third eye seeing. Faith while I twerk. I know that truth may sting me. I know I'm greater than the hurt. My ancestors taught me spirituals and root work, taught me about the power of shea butter and the creator, taught me how to catch the love of my neighbor and nestle it in between my limbs. I know God exists because here we is, like we all we got. I know we made out of stardust, so we can decide. I know we are made out of stardust, so when the dark comes, we can decide to let it swallow us or be the light. We can decide to give up or continue to shine. Thank you.
Let's go. Y'all give it up for Lenora Lane, y'all. Listen, we have had a show tonight, man. But y'all know what time it is. Uno, it's on you.
I was not ready.
Lenora, thank you for your piece. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. I know the dropout may have kind of rushed your pace. It kind of threw you in. It kind of threw you in the mix. But Mom, it's competition time.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready. And listen, I was looking forward to hearing the complete you. Because week 1 we had a little stumble. Week 2 we had a little stumble and we're short. So I was like, this is the time. She is about to shine. We never questioned your pen. We never question your pen at all. But what I think, and I'm a performer, I just feel like memorization will be your friend if you just memorize your pieces. Like you can just give us all you. You won't have to worry about stumbling over it. You can flow. And with that being said, even with the stumbles, it was dope. Still was dope. 8.5. Thank you.
All right, 8.5. All right, Trajay.
Man, sis. First things first, as a slam poet who has dropped her poem, who has forgotten her poem, who has literally remixed a whole stanza in the middle, it doesn't matter what happens in your poem, beginning, middle, whatever, do not end your piece with a raspberry. Like, don't just give that, right? Like, it doesn't matter, because the thing is that the listener doesn't know when your poem is over until you say that it's over. And so when it's over, end it like that's how it was supposed to be at all times. And as someone who like struggle with like getting confident and knowing my voice, like own your voice. You have such an like ethereal, abstract approach to your writing's really dense. Like you have some really dope metaphors and analogies. So I know you're a higher level thinker, but you don't think that highly of yourself based off your delivery. And I want to see you show up as your full self. So with that being said, I noted like you did stumble. The writing was solid, but it was hard to follow the weight of what you were saying because every time you stumbled, you smiled. So I was confused at the emotion of the poem. So it was like, is this a happy poem? Is this a joyful poem? Is it a painful poem? I couldn't follow the emotion. So one thing I would encourage you to do in your writing is sit down with your words and recognize why you wrote it. Connect every line. You have to see it. You have to feel every line because if you don't feel it, the audience won't. All right. And then with that being said, writing was dope, but just the delivery really killed it for me. So I went a 7.5.
All right, 7.5. Y'all be hitting that poets roll.
This is a poets panel, except for me, Jay. It's a poets panel.
I know.
Word.
It is. You feel it tonight, huh? Let's
Yeah,
go.
it's live.
It's thick. It's thick in here.
Yes, sir.
Dev, it's on you.
Okay. You still play too much. It's been a week. You still play too much. We've learned things, but not everything. And y'all annoy me. Adams and Evenings? Bar of the Night. I don't care. Feel like debate your auntie. I don't. But Bar of the Night. I want to apologize for not scoring Veritas higher because you just outwrote everyone and then underperformed by stumbling so often that you gave the slam back. And last week, exactly what I said before, I was like, walking away with the slam, walking away, and then gives it back. Like, no, you should feel like you should win. Everyone in the slam should feel like they should win. And you should perform like you should win. I'm going to. This is probably the toughest poem for me to score so far because, again, I was like, I owe Veritas more points. Veritas really took his delivery seriously. And then I'm like, Lenore outwrote everyone today. So I'm going to tie y'all. I'm going to tie y'all at 8 even.
All right, solid 8. Solid 8. I got you. Black Chakra, it's on you, my boy. 7.2.
Understood.
How do I say this and not cuss? All right. Lyrically, you have outlacked everyone around you. And with your writing, everything in me wanted to give you a 9.3, a 9.4, because that was the best writing I've heard tonight. However, the distance between your writer and your performer is way too wide. Had the poem been memorized or performed with any type of guff, you easily win, and it's not close. The lack of memorization, laughing, I was like, I want more for you. I feel like Joe Jackson. Like, I know what it's like to see so much greatness, but I don't beat nobody. So the only thing I can tell you is here's the 7.2. You don't deserve the 7.2. You are definitely a 9-point-something writer. You are definitely a way better writer than the score, but I can never give something that terribly memorized higher than a 7. And your poet, which is your great pen, needs to meet your great performer side. When those two meet, you're going to be quite something.
Yo, I feel you. Let's keep it going. 7.2 from Black Chakra. Cassandra's free. It's on you.
All right, Lenore. I've been telling you that you are a sick writer. I stand by that. But it was definitely a couple of things with the delivery. The pages turning because you're not off book was distracting. When you get off book, you're going to be more of a force than you are right now. When you start to get off book with your poems, but the pages turning, it took me out. It took me out. The laughing after you told the judge, you said to us, I wasn't ready. And I wish you hadn't said that at the end and did the little at the end, the raspberry at the end. It was those things count as well, because the writing is phenomenal. The writing is, I would have scored the writing if the performance had matched also. But keep going. You're gonna get to where you're trying to get to, I guarantee you. My score was a 7.8, but you're gonna get there. Trust me.
All right, 7.8. Y'all listen. Tonight was definitely tough. Tonight is the semifinals. Tonight we had to pick the final four. So Lenore, Elaine, sweet, I'm gonna put you backstage. And we're gonna talk a little bit. Listen, y'all. Tonight was a lot. Tonight was a lot, and I definitely felt everything the poets on the poets row. The poets panel, as Uno has already pointed out. I want to hear y'all in the sound off in the comment before we talk about who took tonight. I think y'all already know it. Before we declare the final four, before we declare what next we look at, let me know who was your favorite judge on tonight. I think very few often we get a chance to kind of vibe with who gave the best one. Who was your favorite? Who was your least favorite? Let's just sound off. Who you rocking with? We're just lighting up tonight. I just want to thank all the poets tonight. You guys did a phenomenal job. Triggers and Treatment, Indigo and Lilac, you have a hard job to do to figure out what poem you're going to use. We will understand the winner of all the prompts from the client on the finals. But y'all, we already got our final four. Y'all heard them tonight. We had two poets that dropped out. One was like backstage. I don't know, the Black Chakra Shooker. I don't know. I saw it.
It was the Judge Shooker.
She said, hey, I don't know. But listen, the top four that's available is J Poetry, Word Matician, Lenore Elaine, and the winner for this week, y'all give it up for none other than my man, Veritas. Jump in the queue, my man. He won this week with the highest score of a 25.1. Listen, poets, next week, we through with the writing prompts. Y'all in y'all own bag. Next week is the finals, y'all. This is the grand slam. This is the week. This closes it out. We going round for round until the last poet is standing. Make sure you got at least 5 poems on deck, because y'all, we going round for round for round. We're going from 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. The last poet standing, y'all.
Uno, baby.
We done made it to week 4, Shell. It went quick, didn't it? It went real quick.
Jesus, 5 points.
We made it this quick. So, y'all, we still got the opening for Series 9. Hey, y'all already see Trajay. She's one of the poets. Black Chakra. We still in the works to get that last poet. Y'all already see how these poets coming, y'all. If y'all brave enough to push that pen to come on the stage, y'all, make sure you come on out to jonspeaks.com. Hit the registration, y'all. It's only $10 to register. But, yo, I think the critiques in and of themselves help build, y'all. I'm taking notes over here myself. Next week, y'all, it's gonna be a party, y'all. I thank y'all for rocking with J.O. Speaks. Make sure you follow this lovely panel. You saw their handles up here. Trajay, Chev, Black Chakra, Cassandra is free, Big Uno, y'all. Hey, I thank y'all so much for this. This closes us out. I'll see y'all back next week. Let's go. Let's.
Derek Wallace. What up, J.O.? Kimberly Stewart.